Hi guys, welcome to ETTA and ARLENE's Spirit Cast. If you're new to this podcast, we talk about all things related to mindfulness, Reiki, spirituality, metaphysics, tarot, astrology, and anything else in that realm. This is the second part of our interview with Karen Rontowski, also known as Paranormal Karen. She has an amazing podcast. She reads tarot. She does stand-up comedy. She's a Reiki master and extremely knowledgeable of the paranormal and metaphysical world. Today's episode, we are discussing residual energies in homes, locations, and protecting yourself when you travel. We start off talking about the energy vortex in Pittsburgh. But before we start, ARLENE has a message for you guys.
Hey guys, we just want to take a second to let you know where you can find us at. You can listen to our podcast on all major podcasting networks like Stitcher, iTunes, and more. You can also follow us on Instagram at ETTA_ARLENE, on Twitter at edpro_PGH, on Pinterest at ETTA_ARLENE, on Tumblr at ETTA_ARLENE, and you can go to our website to subscribe for some Reiki. Thanks for listening.
There's actually an energy vortex at the Point in Pittsburgh. And
wow.
I guess it's been like foretold or something along those lines that more and more of these like healers and stuff are going to be drawn to Pittsburgh because of this like vortex. And it's like right at the point where we have, are you familiar with the Three Rivers?
Yes.
By chance? Okay, so right at the point, there's like a fourth river that runs under it, and I guess there's like a big crystal, right?
Yeah, it's a glacial river, and there's a massive crystal. I think was it quartz? I can't remember.
Yeah.
That runs through. They're saying that water has healing properties as well.
Wow. So, the other thing about Pennsylvania is lately I've been looking at the map of global warming, and you guys all the way up to Buffalo, New York are the places that will be hit last.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's interesting that you would have that vortex seems to have something going on there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
See, we're learning stuff.
We are.
You're in charge. Take it over. Don't let anyone in.
Yeah. Huh. Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell people that the meditation.
Yeah.
We're going on there's another one on the 12th.
Wow. Yeah. It sounds like I know out here everybody talks about Sedona, but it sounds like you've found your place there.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's weird. People leave, but they always somehow come back. It's really weird. I don't know.
Wow.
It's a great city.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would recommend living here 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I grew up in Massachusetts and I go visit my parents in upstate New York, but I am such an LA girl with the weather.
See, I feel like if I got a taste of that, that's where it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more of like a metaphysical community or like.
It seems like it.
Yeah, where you are, like just more people open to stuff like this.
California, I feel like, except way northern might be a little different, but the thing I love about California is it really is just be who you are. Like there's some place, and it might be because there's so many people or it's so many show business people who are just a little eccentric to begin with. But I do feel like the country is catching up. It's authentic self. Everything's about authentic self. And there's, you can get lost in LA in a good way, just being yourself. But people that hate Hollywood, or I used to work in New Jersey, and this guy used to go, "How can you stand Los Angeles?" And I was like, "Have you ever been there?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Then shut up."
Yeah.
Because I do love this city, but wherever I live, I'm on the road a lot, so I don't get sick of anything. But San Diego, if you get to go vacation, San Diego is the place, and it's a little extension of LA, but it's almost like the land is just beautiful. Like when I was in Atlantic City, I used to work there all the time, and I just felt like bad land. This is bad land. And we stayed in the, when we worked at the club, we stayed in the building that Nucky Thompson from the show was something Empire.
Boardwalk Empire.
Yes.
So you knew it?
Yeah.
Yes. We stayed in the building that he worked in, and it was so negatively haunted, and just the people fighting all the time, and the homelessness. And then a lot of people don't know that the real story of Jaws took place in New Jersey at Atlantic City. And it was the first shark that it kept attacking people, and it would go in. They didn't know sharks could go in non-salt water. So it's just like a weird vibe. When I talked to the Native American investigators, they were talking about how there's layer after layer. It's not just the haunting you're looking at. And I thought, that's Atlantic City. But yeah, but San Diego, it just feels beautiful.
Wow. Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I bet because you travel so much, like, do you notice the energies changing from these different like places that you go?
I do, but you know what's even more interesting is I think that I shut down my empathic abilities in a good way. In other words, I know a lot of people that are empaths that have an awful time with that because they don't understand why they're sad or why they're picking up everybody's energy, and it's making them crazy, and they feel like, why am I anxious, or why am I in so much travel? I think my friend used to say, wow, everything just bounces right off your aura. It just goes away. And I think that was from, airplanes and hotel rooms and just blocking it all out, that it worked in a positive way. So I feel like I must have the protection on when I go to these places. But I do, the most, I've been all over the world, but Greenland was one of the most fascinating places because I felt like I could feel the North Pole. Like I knew where it was and I felt it pulling.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So not too bad. Every once in a while, a hotel will give me the heebie-jeebies, but
okay.
yeah, pretty good.
What about New Orleans?
I've only been there once a long time ago. I have to go back. It makes me, and not to be gruesome, but it's almost like, first of all, you take a place that's already so haunted, and then you throw the next layer of Katrina on top of it. It has to be off the chart insane.
Yeah, we just talked to our friend about it yesterday, and he was saying how like heavy the energy is there, and you can just feel the suffering that has occurred and sadness.
Yeah. It's got to be right there on the surface.
Yeah.
That and 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Puerto Rico must have quite a vibe right now too. So, we're building our layers of tragedies there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's other than that, when you come, that's the other thing, when you come out this way, the old West or the gold mining towns, they still, they were the original, let's just fight and let's run the Native Americans off this land, and just, you can feel it when especially in Arizona, when you go to sort of a tombstone or something like that. It's a very different, very, very different vibe. But I had sort of someone contact me that has a home that's on, they think they're on a Native American burial ground, and the poltergeist activity is terrible. And I talked to the Native American paranormal investigators about it, and they were like, yeah, he's got to move. There's nothing. He can do nothing. It's like, you can't cleanse that land. You can't. He's like, he's got to get rid of that house.
Oh, like, crap.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that would suck so
bad.
There's no hope for you. You got to get out.
You just have to leave. Oh, my goodness.
I was like, can he just show respect, or can he? No, he's got to go. Oh.
Jeez, that really
yeah, don't buy a house when Mercury is retrograde. That's what.
Oh, that's good. That's good, actually.
That's a good tip,
yeah. Whenever we go places, like, when I moved, I was like, do you feel anything? Like,
yeah,
trying to like,
if I could sense anything.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think I'm being right now. I feel I've been in my place in LA for a long time, and I've lived on the same street and moved 3 times on this street. And like, I think it was 20 years ago. I think a siren's coming now. Hold on. That's my ride. Oh. Hello, I'll be here all week. Oh, okay, sorry about that. That's really loud, folks. I'm sorry. I was walking around this building, and I said to a lady, do you like it here? And she went on and on and on about how she loved it. And when I lived in a guest house before this, and it just, when you live in a guest house, it goes sour fast. If it's going to go bad, it goes bad. And I pulled up in front of this place. The apartment just opened up, and that lady I spoke with 20 years ago, it was her apartment, and she passed away in it. Yeah, but it was kind of like everybody was, when I asked, I walked in and I go, did the lady die here? And the manager like froze, and then the workman, who I think was very he was very paranormal. He was from Russia, but he knew a lot, and he just stood there laughing. And I was like, you can tell me, that's all right, because she wasn't she was a pleasant person. So, but I thought, yeah, it was very interesting that I had met her so many years ago and then moved into her place.
Wow.
Yeah.
And her mail comes, and she's almost exactly like me. She's donating all her money to animal rescues and ASPCAs, and I was like, yeah, and a vegan that's an animal rights crazy just moved into your place. So me has not been in here in a long time.
Wow. Oh man. So do you think that doing like Reiki and tarot and all this stuff, like spirits and stuff, can be drawn to you? I heard that can happen. Like once you start doing this stuff, you become like a beacon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think like if, and I don't want anyone to ever be afraid of that, because you do become a beacon for both. But it's kind of like the more light you are, or the more positive, I'm going to say positive, and sort of, I just had this discussion. I had a meditation, and then I called Tommy and I was like, the more authentic self you are, dark entities want to work on your fear. They want to work on your insecurity. They want to work on your secrets. Okay. That's almost like all the stuff they can kind of blackmail you with, or people who are very much in denial about something or have a lot of shame. So the more authentic you are, and being part of the light is not only forgiving others, but it's forgiving yourself and going, hey, I'm a human being. And like, this year I've done a lot of shadow work. So you literally you're not appetizing to these darker things. They don't want anything to do with that. That's uncomfortable for them. So it's like all these incense and stuff and candles that you're doing in your place is making it uncomfortable for them. So they're going to pass by your place. So you do become sort of this anomaly. But now I go investigating, or I try and help people. So I have a little different situation and I need a little more help, but I don't want anyone to be scared. But yeah, you do sort of make yourself a little more accessible to that world.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Really enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, where can people find you, Karen?
Everybody can find my podcast at Paranormal Karen. You can find me at paranormalkaren.com or KarenRontowski.com. You can book a tarot reading. You can find out where my shows are. I think the podcast, whatever else. And if you are having something scary or have a question about ghosts or, the darker stuff, please send me an email, and hopefully I can help you out.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. Thank you again.
All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed this talk. As usual, at the end of every episode, we like to send our listeners distant Reiki. The Reiki session begins when the music starts playing. We recommend you do not operate any machinery while listening, and if you are driving, wait until you get home. It might make you sleepy. To receive the energy, all you have to do is sit back, relax. You can meditate if you would like, and be open to receiving. Reiki transcends time and distance, so it does not matter when you listen. You can actually tune in as often as you like. For more information on Reiki, go to ettaarlene.com/Reiki. Thanks for listening. Bye. We hope you enjoyed this distance session. For more Reiki, like and subscribe. For a personalized Reiki session, go to ettaarlene.com, link below.